everyone, welcome to MathSux. Today we're going to be looking at how to complete the square. So this is a great factoring method that's used for finding the x values of a quadratic equation. All I can say is brace yourselves because there are a lot of steps that can be hard to remember here. The good news is though, although none of them are actually hard, and don't forget you can always check yourself on the calculator or with a different factoring method you prefer. Let's see, we have this question here. X squared plus 6x minus 16. So the first step you're going to want to do is you're always going to want to move the whole numbers to the other side. So our whole number here is minus 16. So we're just going to move that to the other side by adding it to both sides. So here they cancel out, and now we have x squared plus 6x equals 16. The next step is we're going to be adding a number to both sides of the equation. And we're just going to want to make room for that. So let's make some little boxes. So we have x squared plus x, 6x plus some number, we don't know what it is yet. 6 equals 16 plus some number, we don't know what it is yet. So to get this number, we're just going to take 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and then square it, which is 9. And we're going to be using 9. And putting that into our boxes. So if you're wondering what I did right here, you're always taking this middle value, b, divided by 2, and then squaring it. And the b comes from the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c. So notice it's always that coefficient that's next to x. So right here in this question, that's just 6. So our next step is, notice we can simplify this a little bit. We can add these whole numbers together. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 16 plus 9 is 25. And now we're going to use another formula. We're going to rewrite this part of the equation. So we're going to use the formula x plus b over 2 squared. So remember we found b over 2 before, and it's 3 because b is 6. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we could just make this x plus 3 squared equal to 25. So now we're getting somewhere. Notice now, hopefully this looks a little more solvable. We can easily solve for x now. So to solve for x, we want to get rid of this squared. So we're just going to take the square root of both sides. And on the right side, we're going to do plus or minus. We do plus or minus because remember a negative times a negative can be a positive, right? So we have like negative 1 times negative 1 equals 1. So in that case, 25 can be positive or negative, right? Because we're squaring it, so we don't really know. So this ends up creating two equations. X plus 3 equals plus or minus 5. So radical 25 is just 5. And from here, we can create two equations. So this says x plus 3 equals 5, and it also says x plus 3 equals negative 5. And now we just solve for x like normal for each little mini equation we have here. So subtract 3 from both sides, and we have x equals 2. Subtract 3 from both sides on this equation, and we get x equals minus 8. So we have our final answers. I feel pretty good about them. But what if I'm not 100% sure they're right? So that's when you can do a different factoring method, or we can even just take out our calculator. So if we plug in to y equals x squared plus 6x minus 16, and then go to the graph, you'll see where the x-axis is hit on this graph is our exact answer. It's negative 8 and 2.
Need more practice? Check out MathSux.org for more questions. Link below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Happy calculating!